it's a way to keep people down there so that they cannot be what you want to be. Okay, look at the children of the less privileged people in Lagos State who want to aspire into leadership. You know, the leadership of this country is done through political process, democratic process.
Yeah.
Then you now ask for 2.5 million, to
buy
pick up the nomination forms.
Yeah, exactly, which they cannot afford.
Which they cannot afford. Imagine people still struggling to pay
School
fees. Then, in the course of even getting there, you see most of these parties, they have groups. They're all parties, they always form groups. All these groups are the one who are going to vote for them in terms of delegates. They have to also pay them
to actually do the vote. No, somebody actually whispered into my house and said delegates have to collect 50,000.
Exactly. If you are contesting for the lowest office, like House of Assembly, you're going to spend a lot. So it's really cutting off a lot of less privileged people. Something needs to be done. We need a reform in the democratic process in this country. So only Haiti, I know that when we spoke, we have there was this Star Alliance, we call it Lagos Coalition Movement. This was almost 2 years that this coalition movement was formed. And the sole objective of the Lagos Coalition Movement is that we want to take Lagos Commonwealth from an individual and give it back to the people. See, some of us are just turning up to this objective. And 14 political parties fraternized and signed the agreement that we are taking Lagos Commonwealth and give it to the people, because to stop systemic slavery in Lagos, because the slavery is taking Lagos is what shaped Nigeria. Whatever we do in this Lagos,
robs on especially the southwest section. Let me quote in there. We've been talking about vote buying, and I'm particularly worried about when we talk about delegates. We're looking at people who actually represent constituencies and communities, and these people actually go back to their people to give them an information, vote for this person. This is the person settling us.
No, the delegates. You're talking about party delegates?
Yes, I'm talking about party delegates now.
No. You see, the way most of these parties select their delegates, there are always groups within the parties.
Yes.
And when it comes to selecting who are going to vote for the candidates,
so that the candidates will actually emerge.
For the nominees to emerge. Most of these groups, the party will allocate slots for them, and they give it to their people who have been working. That's the way they do it. They don't really want to go. No, normally the process should be that you should submit your name to be a delegate. Then people, the general people, will vote for you.
And
most of the time they don't do it. They just write the names, and in the course of doing that, people scheme to outsmart. These groups they scheme to outsmart one another. That's what is always causing the crisis. You see, it's a really bad system.
So because I'm looking, if we're talking about vote buying, and we're already starting from even the process that brings this our candidate from the roots. What is the hope of the people who are out there? The people that they present to you are people that are possibly have been paid or to vote for the person, and then finally the person emerge. And it's not a matter of credibility. It's not a matter of candidacy. It's not even a matter of how much the person's CV has been examined.
It's a bad system. I won't lie to you. So you see, the system, most of them in the past, they have not really been able to produce the best brains in this country. And in many situations, there are a lot of imposition. People are stepped down. In terms of the delegates, instead of making it
a vote for me. Exactly.
They just scoop up the delegate and say, okay, this is for you. Just even though mostly by the party leaders. And in this state right now, some people are acting God already. They are acting like God. It's bad. The system is bad, and and everybody is. The funny thing is this. The elites in Lagos, I don't know what's wrong with all of them. Everybody just sat down and they are looking at the situation getting bad. Right now, everybody is eating everybody in Lagos. Everybody is eating everybody in Lagos. And this was presented by Power far back in the 60s. That, political stations, if you don't control it to make sure that it's free and fair and tailored towards the people, to get to a stage that everybody eating everybody. I'm just worried. I'm extremely worried about the poor people, the less privileged people in Lagos. You see, I am a politician. I've gone around the grassroots. I've seen, I'm also a chief in many kingdoms in Lagos State. I'm a chief in the many kingdoms in Lagos State because I am a tribe of culture. So I know what it is. And people are hungry, they are hungry, and the situation is so bad, because I can see the picture, because I lived in New York for over 20-something years, and I've traveled to more than half of the countries in this world. So in my course of traveling, I've seen grassroots communities in many, many places, in mega cities of the world. When I look at Lagos,
and you see the grassroots in Lagos,
it's a problem. It's a problem. But they cannot see it. But I am saying it because of exposure.
Having been outside and being able to compare. All right, we're talking about vote buying, and we're the purpose of actually having this conversation is to be able to educate the populace as to what exactly vote buying connotes. So if you're wondering why are they talking about vote buying, it's not yet the election time, and somebody is demanding for your card. What it means is that it is time for you to understand what vote buying is all about. Let's advise the populace. I want us to talk to the citizens. Let's imagine people in the markets, people on the roads, Okada riders, people who particularly don't even have the opportunity to demand for their rights from these people. They're just working every day, ensuring that they make a living. And then somebody comes up to them and says, take 4,500 naira or take 5,000 naira and vote for me in the coming election.
Yeah. My advice for them is it's already done. Many people have done that. Politician, and I don't want to do such a thing. The point is, if you have done it, go back to that person, go collect your card. Or go and tell him or warn him, or because the point is, and again during the election, I want to advise that you have to be at the polling booth on time. Because some of them may try to vote your name
in your name.
Yes, they vote your name before you get there, and the data is available for anybody to be registered.
Yes, it's available.
That one is available.
Yeah.
They can see your picture. What we learned on the intelligent part is that some people are now taking the picture,
and then they put another person's picture.
They take the picture from INEC data, and then they now use it to make party card, for potential voters. Now, hey, this is me, and they vote your name. So it's a bad situation. It's a really bad situation, and it's just because we're operating a presidential system. It's not something good for Nigerian situation, because Nigeria has their own particularities. People are not really winning as leadership. They are not really winning on a free and fair. What they're using is electoral fraud, which comes in various forms, like the issue of vote buying. See, people do a lot of things here that are crimes. It's supposed to go to jail, but they see it as a norm.
Because it has become part of our Nigerian system and part of the Nigerian political system, particularly. So if you are out there and your card has been demanded for, or possibly you have collected,
you have to go back, collect back your card and give the person a warning. If possible, report the person to the police.
And so this person is demanding for my voter's card. It's my right.
Right, this is what they have done. Quite a lot of people have those cards. They want to use it.
But the issue now is these cards are actually nationally recognized. You use them in the banks. You use them everywhere you go. You can use them to receive money. You can use them to collect Western Union. So it's a recognized idea.
I understand, but the problem is the ignorance. Some community are poverty too. People are reading with poverty. They intentionally do not give them what was supposed to be given to them.
To be given to them.
I can tell you that I've been to so many mega cities. I know what mega cities is, and I know in many mega cities in the world, they always bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. Basic needs. So if you can't bridge the gap in housing need, in agriculture, food, which falls in agriculture, health, education, at least those 4 or 5 basic needs of people, then there will be a problem. Okay, imagine somebody who's hungry and take 5,000 and this is what I need.
And the person calculates 1 pint of rice, 1 pint of beans, gari, pepper, and the person that can do, because
about 4 weeks ago, somebody came to me. When I come from the US, they always come around and talk. He was telling me about, please, I have problem. I ate concussion. I said, what's concussion? I don't know concussion.
Concussion. Okay, I'm sure our viewers also know what concussion.
What's concussion?
Rice put together. You pour the pepper, you pour the Maggi, you pour the fish or whatever it is. Yes, no, just pour everything together. It cooks, you sit down, you eat it. You are not concerned about the taste. It's just food.
Oh my God. So he was lamenting that he has 2 kids. What they will hit him was concussion. He was even talking about atagungu.
And that's what it is. Atagungu. Yes, with ororo, with little vegetable oil and Maggi and salt, and there's no protein in the matter.
We have wicked government in place. You see, the government needs to come to the head of people. In modern cities, in New York that I have come from, even in London, they have what they call food stamps. Okay?
So if you're hungry, you can go
if you're hungry, they give it to you. If you're less privileged, they give it to you to bridge that gap in agriculture of food. The rich people buy their food. I never take food stamps. But there are people who go there. There are a lot of programs through churches where people go and collect foods. In housing, London, New York that I come from, I know there are thousands of projects. They call it projects. The houses are well maintained, like the rich ones. It's the only difference is the attitude. Okay, this is a poor neighborhood, this is rich neighborhood.
Exactly.
Poor people always,
this is the kind of neighborhood that can fit in. And so
it's well maintained. They are all well maintained, equally maintained. So they have shelter over there. They don't sell it. It's leased to them. And if you start making money, you have to leave. So in health, in fact, if you live in America, New York, you want to be a poor man. Many rich people turn themselves to poor man when it comes to health, because there is a Medicaid system that is unlimited for poor people. Access to medical facilities. If you're a rich man, you have to buy insurance. So if you're a rich man and you are getting a serious medical challenge, you have to sell your houses and sell everything before you go to Medicaid. And so what happens?
But if you're a poor man, you get access to the same care.
Then people are now designing a trust system where they transfer their belongings to trusts so can have access to the Medicaid. So is it? There's so much to gain in Lagos, because when I look at this, I'm worried about my people.
So particularly, it's the hunger, the lack of facilities that encourages food buying generally. What exactly should people look out for in candidates? By adventure, the person has given you money, and that's usually is what people. How much did he give you? How much is a matter of how much did he give you? But our populace, our citizens, our people should know what they should watch out for in the candidates they want to vote for come 2019.
There are so many factors. What factors you'll be looking for might be different. But first, people have to look at the programs. The loyalty of the candidate is very important in Lagos right now. At least in Lagos, everybody should look at loyalty. I have some opponents whose loyalty the whole of Lagosians know. Their loyalty is not to the people. Their loyalty is to the individual or to an individual. All right, people know that. People know that. And if you now choose to go and vote for a candidate whose loyalty is to an individual, then that means you don't help yourself. Then who is this individual? Is he an individual that enslaved people, or what has he done? Is he someone that is pro people? So if you vote for a candidate whose loyalty is going to be to an individual who you know or believe that is enslaving Lagosian, then you are in trouble.
They should know that
we are in big trouble.
And so, the people give them money.
That's the problem.
For the people give them money?
That's the problem, because it's about poverty. People are poverty ridden. So even those who are rich, they still need money. So they can use money. But now, in the course of using this money, you're going to spend it. It's going to be finished. But you just check out those who have collected money in the past.
What exactly has he gotten them?
Where are they now? You see, what we need in Lagos right now is a form of grassroots governance system that will provide for the less privileged, raise their standard so that they can have access to basic needs just like the rich people. And then we need to create jobs. What I discover in Lagos today, these guys will do now to create jobs. I'm not saying government should create jobs, some private people can create jobs, but we have seen a lot of obstacles, that are militating against creation of jobs. I don't want to say the procedure here.
No, definitely.
There'll be a lot of jobs. There'll be a lot of jobs. Because the job that is being created by these people are menacing. Jobs that people just go out there and start fighting and killing each other. Look, we have to stop this. I was speaking to some students yesterday. Saying, look, you guys, you are students, you still, buoyant because you're in school. And I was in school. I tell them what this situation was. But the issue is, many students now, what is their destiny? Then when I say, look, we have to talk your destiny right now. We have to hold a conference on your destiny in Lagos State. Now, the graduate student's destiny, we have to look at this. When you graduate, you've been trained as an educator or you've been trained as an agriculture, then you now end up in a motor park. That's a derailment. You see, there's a derailment of destiny of our students in Lagos State right now. That's a derailment. You train somebody. Okay, he's going to be an engineer. Okay, he got the certificate engineer. Then he end up driving a taxi.
And he doesn't have a job.
That's a problem, man. You see, we have to address it. And this guy don't care. He just care about, what's going to go into their pocket. You see, I'm fighting the struggle for these people. Why am I doing it? I'm doing it. It's just okay. I have so little resources, not enough, but I think it's going to reach out. All right. And because I don't make my money here, it's literally make it easy for me. Because if I make my money, I probably would have faced some frustration.
All right. We've been talking about vote buying and the Nigerian politics, and looking forward to the 2019 elections. And we've had with us Chief Owolabi Salisu in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming for the show. We've identified quite a number of things this morning. I'm going to do a quick recap of everything that Chief Owolabi Salisu has said. Chief Owolabi has said that as a person, if you have collected money for whatever it is, you have given out your voter's card, please go back and collect your voter's card. It is yours and it belongs to you. It's a means of identification that is useful for you in all spheres as well. And apart from that, it's the only way you can get to take a decision come 2019 during the elections. So your voter's card must be in your possession. And peradventure, if somebody is giving you money and the person is saying take money, that is vote buying. The person is saying to you, take this money and vote for me. You should also ask the person, please, when you come into power, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for my community? It's not we should begin to practice a general politics in Nigeria that is not just about me, and I. We should look at how our environment gets better, how we create an enabling environment for the children come tomorrow. All right, we take this very quick and last break. When we come back, we'll be looking at the last segment of the show. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. on this last segment of the show, we have this quick package that we're going to look at. Church in Lagos, Faith Vision celebrated the 30th anniversary over the weekend, and then we were there. We'll take a quick look at that ceremony. When we come back, we're looking straight into the papers. Please stay with us. It was a delightful atmosphere at the 30th anniversary service of the Faith Mission Cherubim and Seraphim Church, an event that was put together to celebrate the goodness of God to the church and members all through the year. The Thanksgiving service, which took place on the 11th of November 2018, epitomizes the adherence of the Faith Mission to tradition and their obedience to their affiliation to the praying band. Speaking on the theme, "May the favor of God rest on us," Our Eminence Dr. Prophetess Marian Adelaye said the theme reveals two vital components of their desired commitment, that without God they can do nothing nor achieve anything. The speaker at the event, Dr. Eso Adeoye, admonished every man to always do all they can to honor God as he honors every man who does so to him in return. God demands our love. Love towards one another is service to God, he said. Therefore, every man must surrender themselves, their wealth, their position, to God. The gathering would not be made possible if not for the salvation of all our souls, he said. Speaking to the attendees from the book of Psalms chapter 19 verse 16, he said and admonished that their lives should be about loving God, for he satisfies everyone with long life and prosperity.
I will save you. I will honor you. Long life will I undo to you. He promised one thing that is last. And that is, and I will deliver him with you, and I will show you my salvation.
At an event which was attended by a representative of every branch of the Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church of Christ in Lagos State, the choir dazzled the guests with various musical and hymnal renditions. The Deputy Primate, Dr. Oluwaseye Yomisholoye, was praised for her good work in coordinating the affairs of the church and every assignment committed into her hands, as well as she also attested that she had been waiting for the event for a long time. She had been of tremendous assistance to the propagation of the gospel of Christ through the church.
Wow, it's a program we're looking forward to. It's a program that is designed specifically for the advancement. It's a new face. It's a new face for CNS.
Special appreciation went to the chairman of the Harvest Committee for the 2018 Harvest, Special Apostle Isaac Adegbenro, for the good work in putting together such a great event. His Most Eminent Prophet Dr. Solomon Alao, popularly called Baba Olori, also graced the event with an entourage of priests and ministers of God from the Cherubim and Seraphim Church. Another attendee at the event was the APC candidate representing Etiosa constituency. Honorable Obanikoro said he joined the church for the celebration to show his appreciation to God and also to identify with some of their needs promising to do his best in supporting the Faith Mission KNS Church.
I'm not elected yet, I'm just a candidate of my party. And February 16th, I'm going to be going against other qualified candidates of other parties. And the best candidate win. I wish every candidate out there, everyone who wants against me, I wish them all the best.
Many organizations and individuals also felicitated with the church and occasion of the 30th anniversary harvest. Welcome back to AM Chat, and before we end the show this morning, we'll be taking a very quick look at the papers. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, a center spread image right there. You have governors may push for new revenue formula, and that's on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Fear states will go bankrupt. That's the government talking about the new revenue formula for the states. Okay, we have some other stories right there. Up here we have Ogoni cleanup to begin as federal government gets $180 million from oil companies. We have INEC adopt simultaneous accreditation voting for 2019 elections. And to close it up, we have NNPC spent $2 billion NLNG fund on subsidy payments. That's on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Moving on to the front page of the New Telegraph. The front page of the New Telegraph, we have right there, if you can see clearly, will donate to pay 30,000 to governors. That's we have will downsize to pay 30,000. That's from the governors. Says states will go bankrupt to implement new wage. NGF demands review of revenue allocation formula as Ambade, El Rufai, Umahi, others to meet Buhari. That's on the front page of the Telegraph. We have up there, down here, APC primaries, Saraki Maxa Shiomole over DSS Pro. 2019 presidency, Igbo leaders endorses Atiku. That's from the PDP candidate, Buhari must go. We have Keyamo, masses will decide fate. Okay, IPOB court orders Abaribe to pay 100 million over Nnamdi Kanu's disappearance. And right there we have NCDC, Nigeria loses 1,110 persons to cholera in 29 states. Federal government and NPC IOCs mobilize 180 million for Ogoni cleanup. All right, the last newspaper. Oh, this is an interesting one on the front page of the New Telegraph. Sex for Max dismissed OAU professor to face trial. That's on the page 9 of the New Telegraph. Sex for Max, OAU dismissed professor to face trial. That's a good one if we can begin to look at, punishing all forms of sex offenders in the country. And the last newspaper we're looking at this morning is The Punch. The front page of The Punch, governors to Labour expect sacking if we must pay 30,000 minimum wage. That's on the front page of The Punch. We have up there, Senate alleges fresh 1.15 billion illegal withdrawals from NLNG accounts. We have APC primaries, anti-Oshiomhole protesters storm ICPC, and Obasanjo calls for constitution amendment to allow youth participate in politics. And that's our show this morning. Thank you for staying with us on AM Chat. It's been a wonderful show, and we're so excited. If you have been a part of our show this morning, don't sell your vote. Make sure you keep that voter's card. It belongs to you. A PVC is yours. Yours to keep and yours to vote with come election day. And then you get to choose the candidate of your choice with your conscience, not by the amount that was put into your hands. And that's our show. Thank you for staying with us this morning. My name is Tomi C. You can follow me on Twitter at TOMYSYNE and on Facebook, Tomi C. Ujo. Have a pleasant and beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Independence broke the bonds of colonialism, freeing Nigeria to be sovereign, to practice free will and to determine its own fate. On October 1st, Nigeria added to its list of vital statistics a new status as the world's fourth largest democracy. Nigerians set a precedent in breaking from their colonial constitutional heritage, rejecting Britain's parliamentary form of democracy, which they had continued after their independence in 1960. Nigeria made that choice with characteristics pragmatism, where her new government looks remarkably familiar to an American. Since the inception of the Fourth Republic in 1999, it is observed that the prolonged adventure of the military into Nigerian government and politics had basic democratic tenets, which seems difficult for those saddled with the political power and responsibilities to respect or observe. We would have matured better democratically than what we have today, so people attribute this to the military hangover Nigeria was recovering from after the long period of military dictatorship. Between 1999 and today, we have had 4 elections, and at each point, we have always improved on the previous process. Nigeria celebrates its 17 years of uninterrupted democracy. As the years go by, Nigeria is expected to grow and mature in her democratic dissection. On May 29, 1999, Nigeria returned to democratic rule after 2 decades of military dictatorship in our political history. Democracy is a process, but we continue to compare democracy in Nigeria with democracy in other countries. Maturity of democracy in Nigeria should not be about number of years, even as it is the most common yardstick. It is pertinent to draw our attention to allegations of corruption in high places. Nigerians expect their representatives, that is, the executive arm of government, to protect them. Rather, Nigerians get disappointed when they hear of scandals from these representatives. Even highly placed government officials demand bribes and are shielded by the official's secret account. In order to combat this act, a remarkable account was developed known as the Treasury Single Account. The TSA is a public accounting system using a single account or a set of linked accounts by governments to ensure all revenue receipts and payments are done through a consolidated revenue account and at the Central Bank of Nigeria. Since the inception of the Fourth Republic on 29th of May 1999, Nigeria's democracy has been facing a lot of catastrophe. Although it is believed by many political pundits that crisis is part of the maturing processes of every maturing democracy, including a present democracy. Successful transition from one party to another has never happened before in the history of Nigeria elections, because in the past, it was a do or die affair. It is said that President Muhammadu Buhari is a product of the political maturity of the People's Democratic Party. This was said due to the course of history altered by the loss and acceptance of the defeat by the former ruling party in Nigeria. That changed the course of history in Nigeria. As we all know, democracy is a political system in which the supreme power lies in a body of citizens who can elect people to represent them. We can say democracy has reigned and we have left a legacy because Nigerians are making the decisions. The results demonstrate the maturity of democracy in Nigeria. It shows that democracy has come of age. We have seen demonstration of peaceful elections and peaceful transitions from one government to another. God bless Nigeria.
Bami Gilead, Gilead, I know. If you connect to the one true source of life, you shall live forever. Lord, and tears don't wash away the peace from the land. Pain and death has now become the order of the day. All we need is one love, one love. You and I need one love. You plant and I water. You and me, brothers and sisters.
Turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around, let me wow. Turn around, turn around.
Oh yeah, every memo come down. Take preeminence so you're wrong town. Power must shake me, power must run down. Let there be peace to robot in your calm down, calm down. Hey, come on a day, let there be light on. Come on a day, let night shine on. Come on a day, economy step up. Come on a day, what did they take over? Monova, monade, monova. From all the locals where they shop in Niger, Baba got the healer. From all the canker ones we won't conquer Niger, Niger. Baba Georgia, Georgia, Jakari Waja, Dano.
Let us find a way, give us peace and joy, with love and unity. Forever we shall stand. I have a dream. Our children will be free. Free to rise, free to fly, free to love and below. No more terrorism, no tribalism, no to the killing. Baba God, hear our prayer, oh, we're calling on you. Heal our land, heal our heart, heal our home. Let your power flow in Niger, power flow.
Lord, I cry unto thee, make haste unto me, give ear to my voice when I cry. Lord, I cry, give ear to my voice when I cry.
Yeah, Rastafari Salassia, Uli Emmanuel. Music and Taliban #1 Ratata. As I dey hustle my life, bustle around, Baba God lo mo, lo yeah, oh yeah. Agbára mi kọ́ ẹnu yí pọ̀ jù, òkè ìṣòro ayé mi, òun ló ń bá mi gbé, ó ń bá mi gbé. Gbogbo rẹ̀ tó ṣe láyé mi ló jẹ́ kí n máa kọrin hallelujah. Mo máa kígbe Hosanna, I will serve you forever. He said before some obstacles, now my missus blowing in the tentacles. Everybody wanna chop knuckle. The only Taliban we know they find trouble. I just have to give thanks, yeah. For his goodness and mercy in my life. I'm a wild God, yeah. Oríṣẹ́ mi o, oríṣẹ́ lẹ́pọ̀. Gbogbo rẹ̀ tó ṣe láyé mi ló jẹ́ kí n máa kọrin hallelujah. Oríṣẹ́ lẹ́pọ̀. Mo máa kí pé Hosanna, I will serve you forever. Gbogbo rẹ̀ tó ṣe láyé mi mú mi kọrin hallelujah. Mo máa kí pé Hosanna, oríṣẹ́ mi mo wá dọ́pẹ́ o. I said to top, we rise it to the top. I'm a winner in a full stop right now. You can see the money pile up. And if I put better your taste to his skin, I get more now. Tell them fi dress, cause Olúwa ti ṣe ohun tí mo fẹ́. Olúwa ti gbé mi lékè ogun ayé. I go turn up, yeah. I go turn up, yeah. Turn up. As I dey hustle my life, bustle around, Baba God lo mọ̀, òun ló yé, òun ló yé. Òun ló jẹ́ ara mi kọ́ ẹnu yí pọ̀ jù, òkè ìṣòro ayé mi, òun ló ń bá mi gbé. Olúwa mi, ó ń bá mi gbé. Òun làlábàárò.